has a few things he'd like to talk to us about. If we could give him your attention. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Good afternoon. I appreciate the Chamber giving me a couple minutes to try to spread the word about an important piece of history we have here in Pulaski County. After the attacks on 9/11, the Port Authority of New York started a process to where several pieces of steel salvaged from the Twin Towers could be loaned to certain agencies as public memorials. After almost 2 years of red tape, we were approved and able to make the trip to Hangar 7 of JFK Airport to where all the artifacts that are now in the World Trade Center Memorial in New York were housed, and to bring the piece that is now on loan to Pulaski County. The steel still belongs to the Port Authority and must be open to the public at no charge. The piece that SRT is caretaker of weighs approximately 3,500 pounds, and in 2012 we dedicated the memorial at our headquarters on Stigall Lane, and it's still the centerpiece of the annual September 11th memorial service. As most know, we had a fire that destroyed our headquarters in 2021, and the steel had to be relocated temporarily, and we're just now in the process of trying to get it back up. We've partnered with the Speda Community Foundation to raise funds to make the planned new memorial a place that citizens can come and reflect on September the 11th and the events that follow. The proposed memorial will have 2 granite towers, 11 feet tall by 17 inches square. The steel will hang between these two, and there will be a bronze bell to use in memorial services as well as benches for seating. The granite towers will sit on a pad shaped like the Pentagon, and there will be areas that contain grass that grew at both national memorials for 9/11 in Shanksville and the one in Washington, D.C. at the Pentagon. We have 4 levels of sponsorship. The tower at $2,500, gold at $1,000, silver at $500, and bronze at $250. You can also donate any amount you wish to, whether larger or smaller, and all the donations are tax deductible. If you'd like to donate, go to the foundation's page on somersetkyleads.com. Level sponsors will also be recognized on site with a bronze plaque. There are very few pieces of these in the Commonwealth, and we're very proud to be its caretaker. If you would, please spread and share this with our community, and it would be greatly appreciated. Also, all are welcome to join us at the annual memorial service starting at 8:45 every September 11th. Thank you, and please never forget.
Appreciate that, Chief. Thank you. Our second Two for Tuesday, I'd like to ask Brittany Bennett from the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's. Please come forward and tell us a little bit about what's going on this year.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany Bennett and I'm the walk manager here for the Somerset Walk to End Alzheimer's event. First of all, I want to invite everyone to our event happening on October 15th. It's open to the public at 1:30 with ceremony starting at 2:30. And it is at the Judicial Plaza downtown. And before you ask, no, it's not a race. You can show up and you don't even have to walk that day if you don't feel like it. Our route is about 1 mile, but we have several places where you can drop off early if you don't feel like completing that. This overall is a day of celebration and remembrance. We will have all of our 2023 sponsors present, so you'll need to come check them out and hear from our wonderful ambassador family, the Daltons, who are currently living with Alzheimer's disease right now here in Somerset. We need our community to rally behind us and show up and show your support. We need more sponsors, we need more teams, and overall we need people to get out there and spread the word of what we're doing. The Alzheimer's Association offers free educational programs for businesses, schools, churches, clubs, and other organizations, including the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's and dementia, effective communication, and healthy living for your brain and body. If you're interested in one of those, come see us. We have a wonderful booth set up over there where you can learn all about the local Alzheimer's Association here in Somerset, what we do locally in Kentucky, as well as overall our entire nation. We also have a free 1-800 number with 24/7, 365 access to master level clinicians that speak 28 different languages. So no matter what your need is, they're going to be able to take care of you and make sure that you and your loved ones are well taken care of. Somerset also has a caregiver support groups that meets the second Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the Cumberland Church of Christ. We also have information about that. So please come over here and see us, learn more about the Somerset Walk to End Alzheimer's event and how you can make a difference in ending Alzheimer's. Thank you.
Six years ago, the Chamber of Commerce dedicated our annual golf tournament in memory of Jack Keeney, the longtime chamber director. Now known as the Chamber of Commerce Jack Keeney Memorial Golf Tournament, we've raised over $27,000 for local charities on behalf of Jack Keeney and his family. Charities include the American Cancer Society, Bethany House, Over My Head Homeless Shelter, God's Food Pantry, and the 516 Clinic. This year, we're happy to make a donation in the amount of $3,300 on behalf of our golf tournament to From the Heart Ministry. From the Heart Ministry of Kentucky is a Christian-centered nonprofit who makes it their weekly mission to serve those that tend to go unnoticed and unloved. They provide home-cooked meals to anyone who needs a helping hand every Thursday evening in the Judicial Center Plaza. Volunteers pray attendees and establish relationships with every person they feed. From the Heart Ministry also provides heart bags to individuals entering addiction rehab centers so that they can begin their journey with the Word of God and tools to help them develop their relationship with Christ. Each heart bag contains a Celebrate Recovery Study Bible, Celebrate Recovery devotional, notebook, pen, highlighter, and a handheld olive wood cross from Jerusalem, and a handwritten note card letting them know that they are never alone and that they are loved. With us today is Christy Oyer and April Slagle to receive our donation check. Folks, let's give these ladies a big round of applause. Thank you all so much. I'd like to also recognize all of our information tables that we have here with us. This is a free service that we provide for our members. We take them on a first-come, first-served basis, and it gives you an opportunity to have your business or organization set up, interact with our crowd, and gives us a chance to learn a little bit more about their businesses and organizations as well. I'd like to recognize all of those businesses and organizations that are here with us today. Skyhope Women's Recovery Center, Protea Behavioral Health Counseling, Living Bread Soup Kitchen, HHO Carbon Clean Systems of Southern Kentucky, Brightview Health, Bluegrass Senior Living, 5-Star Land Title, Advanced Care Pharmacy, Walk to End Alzheimer's, Somerset Junior Women's Club, Crown Services, CASA of Southern Kentucky, Heads Up Digital, Kentucky Prepper Network, LLC, and the United Way of South Central Kentucky. Let's give them all a big round of applause. The last thing I would like to mention before I turn the program over to our chamber president, Sean Doherty, we have an event coming up on August 22nd that I'd like to mention to everybody. There should be some flyers on your tables. So our Economic Development Authority, SPEDA, Mr. Chris Girdler and myself, you know, we got together at one of our luncheons a couple of months ago when our guest speaker was Damon Thayer. So Senator Thayer took off his state senate hat and he was talking about his boutique bourbon business, Kentucky Senator Bourbon. And if you'll remember, or maybe you've heard, on this particular expression, they are recognizing former United States Senator and local hometown hero John Sherman Cooper. So we got to thinking, you know, there's never been an event that's been done in my time or in recent memory to pay tribute to Senator John Sherman Cooper. He was a big deal. You know, he was one of John F. Kennedy's best friends. He is a true statesman, and he's somebody that we wanted to pay homage to here in our community. So we put an event together. It's going to be on Tuesday, August 22nd at the Virginia Theater. It's going to be called A Toast to John Sherman Cooper. So we're going to have former Kentucky Supreme Court Justice Daniel Venters is going to come out, and he's going to give a historical overview of John Sherman Cooper's life. We're actually going to have Cornelia Cooper there with us. That's Dick Cooper's wife, and she's 96 this year, and just a really, really special lady. We're going to present her with a bottle of the bourbon, and her grandson Stoll Vaughn is a Grammy nominated singer, and Stoll's going to actually come down free of charge, and he's going to join us. He's phenomenal, and he's going to join us for this event. There's absolutely no charge. It's completely free. It's going to be catered, and we're going to do, at the end of this, we're going to actually do a toast to Senator John Sherman Cooper with the Kentucky Senator Bourbon Expression. So it's going to be a fun event. You have to RSVP to Jessica Carlton over there. I see Jessica in the front row there. Let's everybody stare at Jessica, put her on the spot, make her really, really put the spotlight on her. So we're just doing that for numbers. It's a pretty tight room. The Virginia fills up pretty quick, and we want to make sure that we make sure we have a nice, comfortable event. But if you would like to attend this, it's completely free. Just RSVP to Jessica over at the SPIDA office, or you can call me or send it to me, and I'll send it along to her. But it should be a fun event, and I'm really looking forward to having several of you learn more about this event and consider attending. It'll be from 5:30 to 7:30, again on Tuesday, October 22nd. So with that, I'm going to go ahead. I'll turn the program over to my boss, President of the Chamber this year, Mr. Sean Doherty.
First, I would like to say welcome. Welcome to all of our guests today. A big welcome to our membership that are here today and all of their representatives. And then I'd like to say a special welcome to our elected officials. I really believe for a community to thrive, the elected officials have to be connected with the business community. And we're very blessed in this community with a lot of good leadership, and most of them attend our luncheon. I'll go ahead and I think I'll recognize everybody that's here, but if I forgot somebody, just certainly let me know. Of course, we've got our Somerset Mayor, Alan Keck, here with us today. Our Judge Executive, Marshall Todd, is with us today. I saw Mayor Robert Lawson from Burnside here with us today. Our Sheriff, Bobby Jones, is with us today. I noticed, I think we've got a lot of the City Council from Somerset here today. Amanda Bullock, City Council member. David Godsey, City Council member. Jimmy Eastham, City Council member. And Brian Dalton, City Council member. So we're appreciative of them being here as well. I see several judges in the audience. Judge Katie Sloan is here with us, and Judge B.J. Hardy. Also, Mark Renshaw, our magistrate. Did I miss anyone? I think that got most everybody. Got a couple other city council members here. Ooh. Okay, I'll get you guys here in just a second. All right. Of course, we're very appreciative of our sponsors who make the financial engine of the Chamber go forward. Our world-class sponsors, our Chairman Circle sponsors, and our Ambassador Circle sponsors. Thank you, and I'd like a big round of applause for those crew that help us with the financial piece. A big thank you to the Center for Rural Development, Sassy Spoons Catering, Coca-Cola Bottling of Somerset, and Pepsi-Cola Bottling of Somerset for everything they've provided with the venue, meal, and drinks today. And now I'll have our first Vice President, Lisa Phelps, to come up and introduce our new members for the month.
Please join me in welcoming our new members for this month. A.B. Sebastian's Pet Salon, Allison Sebastian. Black Label Outlet, Blake Crawford. Dick's Plumbing, Kevin Dick. Epperson Brooks, Gavin Epperson. Hibbard Family Farm, Laurie Hibbard. Honeybees Learning Center, Whitney Cable. Lake Cumberland Computers, Lewis Stargell. Lake Cumberland Glamping, Charlotte Arvin, Megan Mills, Lydia Faust, and Tessa Dixon. Lake Cumberland Regional Training Consortium, Jessica Carlton. Lake Life Vacation Rentals, Savannah Rowe. Miller's Mobile Auto Repair, Weston Miller. Mindset Digital, Deborah Jasper. Nomad Aircraft Solutions, TJ Nichols. Ringing Rain Records, Joseph Ehringer. Roy's Storage Center, Kristen Hopkins. If we could please give all of these new members a round of applause.
Okay, obviously the sponsors provide the financial engine for the chamber, but the work, the boots on the ground, is provided by our ambassadors. And we have a lot of great ambassadors out there in our community. And I'd like to have a big round of applause for our ambassadors and the work they do. If you're an ambassador, please stand. And I would like to recognize our Ambassador of the Month. If I could have Reese Shook come forward. Congratulations, Reese, on being our Ambassador of the Month. Of course, today's corporate sponsors are SPEDA, the City of Somerset, and Pulaski County Government. And I'm very appreciative of what they do, and I think we're in for a treat today to hear an update from our county and city. First, we'll go with Judge Executive Marshall Todd. Marshall Todd is in his first term as our judge, our newly elected judge. He is taking his knowledge of business and construction and putting it at work to make our government better. He began working with his family business, Todd Masonry, in 1969. And then he became a small business owner himself in 1990 with the formation of Marshall Todd Builders. He's a past president of the Home Builders of Kentucky and currently serves on the Land Development and Environmental Issues Committee of the National Home Builders Association. He is also a Kentucky State Representative to the National Association of Home Builders. A lifelong Republican, Judge Todd is a graduate of Nancy High School, and he attended Somerset Community College, where he is now on their board. He is also an advisory committee member at the Pulaski County Area Technology Center and an instructor for the Kentucky Construction Career Choices Council. He has been active in Babe Ruth and Cal Ripken baseball for the past 40 years, and he has served as our District 5 baseball commissioner. A member of Sardis Chapel, Judge Todd resides in Nancy, Kentucky, with his wife of 42 years, Sheila. Their daughter, Sarah, is married to Ryan Godby, and they have a granddaughter, Annabelle Grace. Without further ado, if we could have Judge Marshall Todd.
Well, first of all, I want to say thanks for being here. Such a great crowd. I guess they thought maybe Mayor Keck and I were going to do some big proclamation today and some big announcement that might be exciting to be here. So appreciate everyone being here. I'm very humbled to be the Pulaski County Judge Executive. As Sean elaborated on quite an introduction there, I never thought about that, but anyway, thanks, Sean. I want to thank Bobby and all he does with the chamber. This is one of the biggest and most active chambers in the state, so it all goes to the ambassadors and Bobby and all the members of the chamber. Thank you very much for being so involved in Pulaski County and Somerset Chamber of Commerce. It's a great asset to our community, so appreciate Bobby and all his work. One of the first things upon taking office 7 months ago today, actually, I realized that one of the first things we needed to do in county government was get control of our finances. And I don't want to belabor this point very much, but I wanted to let you know where we came from. We walked into the office and we realized that the county is carrying about a $16 million debt. So we have to work with that every day. In every budget, every cycle that we do, we have to be aware that we do owe money. We're making payments. We're doing that very well. We just have to watch what we do. So that's one thing I had to realize. Also, you've probably heard a thing or two about the audits. I'm tired of audits. I've been in office for 7 months. We have endured, to say the least, 2 audits from the state government. The latest audit that's coming out, it should be published in the newspaper within the week or so. It's under review now at the State Department. They're reviewing it to see what else they can find, I guess, but it should be published in the newspaper within the next week. It will show that we had 18 findings, serious findings that we are diligently working through at this time to correct, because I realize that every dollar that's taken in by county government and spent by county government is your money. It's taxpayers' money, and we must be very careful to record and document every dollar that's spent through our county system, and we're working very hard to do that. One of the first things we did is to hire a new treasurer and a new finance officer to make sure that we are very accountable for your tax dollars. So we're working hard to get through that. So moving on from that, we have a lot of things going on in the county that we are very proud of. One of the other things that I started off with after we got some of our staff in place, and we're working very hard. We have an open door policy at the courthouse. Anyone can walk in at any time, and either I'll be there or my assistants will be there. We will take care of your business. Another thing we did in the first few months of my administration, we hired, first time ever, a full-time emergency management director. We did this because of seems like the frequency of storms, tornadoes, ice storms, wind events, wildfires. All these things are taking place across the Commonwealth, more frequency. And I was on the ground in Dawson Springs in December of 21, 2 days after the tornado wiped that town off the map, basically. And I was there with another organization because we wanted to help. And I realized at that time, if I was ever in a position that Pulaski County got hit like that, I knew everyone would be looking at the county judge or the mayor or wherever this thing hits. And I was there and I realized there's a lot of work to be done. So I went out and we've hired, I think, the most qualified individual to do our emergency management directorship. And he's right now putting together a comprehensive countywide plan for all our first responders. And he will be calling on many of you business people here to be part of that plan. In case we get a disaster, we will know where to turn to, where to go, what churches we'll be involved with, to make sure that we have boots on the ground, because all these people would come in to help, and we need to have a plan in place to take care of our business and food and homes and all this shelter that goes with that plan. So we're working very diligently to take care of that. Also, he has applied for funding for 5 tornado shelters, and I think I'm very confident that we're going to get some of that funding in the next year through FEMA. We're going to locate those tornado shelters throughout Pulaski County to give us a safe place to go. They can be used for other activities, but in times of emergency, we will have those located throughout the county. So moving forward, a lot of this job entails developing relationships. We want to develop a relationship, and we've strived very hard through the county office to develop a relationship with all our elected officials on the state level and on the national level. Since being elected in the last year, I have been to D.C., Washington, D.C. 2 times, and met with our Congressman, Hal Rogers, and how blessed we are to have him in the community, sitting right here in Pulaski County. I went to D.C. and met with him. I've also reached out to Congressman Comer and Congressman Andy Barr. I went into Senator McConnell's office, Senator Rand Paul's. I've tried to frequent D.C. as much as we can because, you know, where all the funding comes through is federal government or state government. We're very blessed also to have 5 state reps that represent Pulaski County. That gives us a big voice in Frankfort. So we want to cultivate those relationships. So I think seeing the benefit of all of developing these relationships, even with the college, with SPEDA, with the city, everyone working together makes us much more stronger. So as a result of that, you know, we were at a ribbon cutting a week ago or 2 weeks ago at 461 and 80. The ribbon cutting for the intersection there, which was a monumental task to get that thing opened up, and we're all glad to see the orange barrels or the red barrels removed so we can get through there. But I think that is just a small part of what Pulaski County future is going to be going forward. I spoke there at that event, and I think I call that should be the gateway to the east from Somerset Pulaski County area. That is just a small part of what we have planned. Congressman Rogers announced at that event that he had asked the appropriations bill to add $45 million for the new northern bypass of Pulaski County. That is not to complete the project, but that's to get it started. The county government was glad to sign the papers for that. We are the grant applicant for that project, and we're very glad to do so, and I expect that to take place. I think we'll start having dirt moved within the next year. That would tie us into from 27, where it ends now, all the way to 461. But that is a small part of what we would think. I want you to pause just a second and think what this would mean to Pulaski County when they get that opened all the way to 461, and then there is plans to go on to Mount Vernon with a 4-lane. That would put us on an interstate highway system from I-65 all the way to I-75. We would have an interstate system right through the middle of central Kentucky and Pulaski County. So talk about huge for tourism and moving goods and services throughout the county and throughout the region. It's super for Pulaski County going forward. Also, I want to talk about one more project, and probably not many in this room know about it. We are currently pursuing funding, and we feel like we're going to get it for the trail system in southern Pulaski County. I think this is going to be a huge boost for tourism, Michelle. The state has contacted us on a multi-million-dollar grant that we start a trail in Sloan's Valley area. It's rails to trails, and it will go through from Sloan's Valley to Alpine, all the way into the Big South Fork and McQuarrie County and the Daniel Boone Forest, several miles of trails, and it's a several million-dollar project. We're feeling real confident at this time that we'll get that funding. I am meeting with the Forest Rangers at Stearns on Monday morning, and we're really pumped about that. This could be a signature project on the trail system to complement Pulaski County and tourism. So if we get that funding, we've got boots on the ground. We're going to move that very quickly. Some other projects we're working with is the Lake Cumberland Ad District. We've asked for several water line extensions in Pulaski County. You know, it's sad that we're living in 2023 and lots of Pulaski County residents do not have running water. That's something we're trying desperately to correct, because I hear it constantly that we have problems like that. So we're working very hard with that. So, you know, we're doing a lot of projects. We're moving a lot of things in the county. We want to keep working with SPEDA. Congratulate Chris on getting the $1.5 million $1.5 million grant, a little more than that, on the SPEDA project. I want to encourage him and SPEDA to really take those funds and get us some build site ready projects ready to go in the county. We want to develop those to get more industry here. I hear the governor all the time, because I'm a county judge, I get to attend a lot of conferences with him. I hear the governor saying all the great things he is doing for the Commonwealth and where he's putting all these jobs. Well, I don't hear Pulaski County mentioned. So we want to change that going forward. We want some stuff brought here. We want to move Pulaski County forward. So I think our future looks great. I'm very excited to be serving in this position. We will not lack the effort, at least not the effort put forward to make sure this thing works. We're going to give it all we've got. So I'm appreciating all my staff. Some are here today, but most are back at the office working. So we want to keep things moving forward, but look forward to working with you for the next few years. So appreciate all your help. Let's keep moving Pulaski County forward and making it a better place to live, work, and play. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge Todd. And now I'll introduce our mayor. I don't think he needs an introduction, but I'll say Alan Keck was elected our mayor, and obviously this is his hometown, in November of 2018. And he's now been reelected in his second term. His first term, he led a period of unprecedented change in Somerset, working to build a Somerset for all generations and charging forward with a vision to reunite the community's economy. In 2021, Mayor Keck was selected as the Kentucky League of Cities Elected Official of the Year for his creative and dynamic leadership. Prior to being elected mayor, he served as president of Somerset Recycling. He is also the founder and principal agent of Keck Sports Management, a professional baseball agency that represents professional athletes. Mayor Keck is a graduate of Somerset High School, Western Kentucky University, and he earned his MBA from University of the Cumberlands. He serves as a deacon at First Baptist Church and is a member of the Kentucky Baptist Convention Public Affairs Committee. He was a member of the 2017 class of Leadership Kentucky and now serves on that organization's board of directors. He is also a member of the Kentucky League of Cities Board of Directors and has been deeply involved in the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Mayor Keck and his wife Tiffany have 3 daughters, Olivia, Oakley, and Olson. Mayor Alan Keck.
Well, thank you so much. I apologize for the long bio, but grateful for that. I, too, want to say thank you to Bobby and their entire team. You know, you think about this chamber and this type of luncheon, I think that this is the best pound-for-pound chamber in the state of Kentucky. We're going to coin a new term, but I'm grateful for you and your board and all of your work. I'd also like to say a quick thank you to my wife, Tiffany, for being here and always supporting me regardless of the challenge and helping lead our home and those 3 girls. I'm really grateful. I want to make sure I mention a couple city councilors, David Burdine, Jerry Wilden, also here with us, and Donna McClure. Donna texted me earlier. She got to say hi to Tiffany, but Donna just does an incredible job representing Senator McConnell, and I appreciate your friendship and your effort and your service to our entire Commonwealth. Thanks for the full city council, the rest of you, for being here. The successes that I'm going to talk about today are yours. And I'm grateful for that. Judge Todd, well done. Great to share the stage with you and look forward to continuing our work together for community. Not city versus county, but community. I certainly appreciate that. And then finally, thanks to each of you for making this a Chamber of Commerce, making this a business community that invests, that's creating, that's doing special things. I'm grateful to be standing before you again today. You know, a lot of time has passed since I addressed you. I've run for office twice since my last State of the City. And I will say that the opportunity to continue and serve and lead this community, winning that election last fall by 20-plus points was an absolute joy. I will never take it for granted, And it will always be the privilege and the honor of my lifetime to get to serve this city, this hometown that I love. You know, our team has accomplished some incredible things over the last 4+ years, some huge milestones. And I want to get into that and talk about that in the next few minutes. But first, I want to acknowledge the other race, the one that I lost, and that candidly I lost handily. I didn't get as many votes as I would have liked. I didn't finish as high as I would have wished. But outside of the practical or the actual loss, when I reflect back, when I look back, I don't feel like I lost at all. You know, I get asked about that race often. I get asked about what's next seemingly once a week. But before I address any of those things or talk about the future for Somerset, I want to tell you that, look, I don't regret it a bit. You know, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience to crisscross this state and share what we've accomplished here in Somerset. You know, it was equal parts humbling and gratifying. It certainly was exhausting and exhilarating. I had a blast getting to cast a vision for what I thought Kentucky can and should be. But I also loved getting to talk about the successes and the stories of Somerset. You know, while I may have been gone in a literal sense, quite frankly, I was never gone at all. I was getting to tell our story, the story that I'm going to share today. And when I was doing it, people would ask. They know what's happening in Somerset and Pulaski County, but they wanted to know how. How are you accomplishing all of these big things? We'll talk about a few of those big things, and I want to tie the ribbon, if you will, with some of the small things. You know, we have had historic accomplishments over the last 4 years. Over $300 million in new announcements in 1 year alone. Companies like Horse Soldier, Connor Logistics, and yes, App Harvest. You know, I know App Harvest has been much maligned in recent days. I don't think many in this room have contributed, but I've been disappointed by some in the community that seemingly are celebrating what they perceive to be a failure. You know, App Harvest had a big dream. And while there was undoubtedly some mismanagement and some missteps along the way, that company invested $70 million in this community. They employed over 100 people, and still today, they're growing vegetables right here in Somerset, Kentucky. But the bigger theme or the bigger message for me today is, let's don't be a community that celebrates failure. Let's be one that encourages and promotes and celebrates success. You know, where our country was founded, the greatest risk takers of all time fled their nation to build a new one, chasing economic and religious freedom. I want to be a community that celebrates those type of risk takers, not demonizing, looking to point the finger at somebody because quite possibly it didn't go as planned. I'm proud of App Harvest, and I hope to find a way that we're going to be growing fruits and vegetables in this town for 50 more years. It might not look the same, it might not be the same name, but let's find a way to help them instead of tear them down. You know, our administration proudly invested a record amount in our first responders. Chief Hunt, thank you for being here. Sheriff, thank you. I want to continue to find ways to add to that record investment, to do more, not less. There is still work to be done. We revitalized the Virginia. Many on my team are here that had a huge hand in that. You've heard me say countless times that I have the best team in the state of Kentucky. Massive, record-breaking, historic projects don't happen without that. John, you and your family, thank you for being here. Julie, Leslie, thank you for the work of making this possible. I'm so blessed to get to work with folks like these every single day. We've brought free record-breaking festivals to downtown Somerset each and every year. We also invested in a farmer's market, thanks to the appropriations from the council, indoor-outdoor market that last year alone had over 300 events at that venue. You know, as I told this story, these successes across the state, I found myself talking about them, but honestly talking about the small things that led to the big things even more. I call it the glue or the fiber behind what made all of this possible, and that's really what I want to talk about today. The key to so much of this is one small idea. One idea that if we would make Somerset and Pulaski County a place that people wanted to live, that they would then make it a place that people wanted to work. You know, a founding principle behind SPEDA is making business about people. Chris, Jessica, their team, their board has done such an incredible job of leaning into that. And I think one of the reasons for that is that board looks a lot different than the board of a traditional economic development authority. Yeah, you have developers, but you also have educators, and you have accountants, and you have tourism people. That board brings a perspective and an idea that's unlike any other in the state of Kentucky. They've also made strategic investments in things that are so non-conventional, but it's allowed us to make Pulaski County a better place to live and a stronger place to work. Things like water tank murals, the Veterans Park in downtown Somerset, a welcome sign as you enter from the north into Pulaski County. Supporting festivals because SPEDA understands that arts and entertainment are also economic development. Billboards promoting our community. And then finally, taking the lead on projects that this community has begged for. Things like housing and childcare, solving real problems, thus making it a better place to live and work. SPEDA has also led the way on something that I campaigned adamantly about, strengthening our workforce in Kentucky. Because the reality is Kentucky doesn't have a jobs problem. It has a workforce problem. We need to find creative ways to get people back into places of employment. SPEDA's led the way on reentry. Man, I'm so proud of the work that's being done in the jail. Between the community college, thank you. Jailer McCollum, thank you. SPEDA, thank you. The work in connecting these dots, being that conduit to give the folks, the judicial system, giving folks that are desperate for a second chance, a chance at lifelong employment. 2 quick stories and successes from that. One individual, a young lady, has been incarcerated, not scheduled to get out of jail until 2024, has been working full-time at a local employer and will leave jail with over $60,000 in her checking account. Solving 2 of the most challenging problems, which is housing and transportation, because she's going to have money to invest in both as soon as she gets out of jail. Another story of a young man who got behind on his child support and was put away. Patrick Hunley, thanks for being here, sir. You didn't get recognized either. I see you out there, man. Thanks for serving on council as well. Over $20,000 in back child support. Is going to be able to work that off so when he gets out of jail, he's not going to have any of that, and he's not just going to have a job. That gentleman's going to have a career. The Bus to Biz program, where now our Economic Development Authority is into the schools, working with our educators to take them directly to the employer so they can show their students what opportunities exist in their own county. Training workshops for basically anything you want. SPEDA has led the way in hospitality, Robert's Rules of Order, grant writing, and you name it, soft skills training. Again, trying to find a way, even if only 2 or 3 more people get the training that they need, that's going to be somebody else's employee. And then mini grants. If we can't celebrate putting a seed investment into entrepreneurs and businesses to help get them a kickstart, I don't know what we can celebrate. So many small wins, stacking small bricks that lead to big things. But we've got a lot done, and we're also getting a lot done and looking forward to some things in the city of Somerset. Fisher Fun Park 2. On August the 11th, we're gonna unveil a new grand opening, if you will, at downtown Somerset and Rocky Hollow Park. This park has been an absolute home run for our city. In fact, it's been so popular that we've had trouble finishing it because we can't keep people off the parking lot or off the playground. But now complete, that park has sand volleyball. It has another splash pad, the Readers to Leaders Storybook Trail, and then all of the work that happened during the COVID year to clean it up. Rocky Hollow Park and Fisher Fun Park is truly a world-class playground and park for our entire community to use for free. I'd invite each of you to come out on August the 11th at 11 o'clock and celebrate with us. We also have announced the new Boys and Girls Club, something I'm so proud of and excited about. A project that candidly would have never happened had I not run for governor. As I was traveling the state, I make friends with a woman who serves on the city council of Cave City, and she tells me about this great entrepreneur in Glasgow and says, you got to come see him, you got to come see him. I'm excited, right, thinking that, this might lead to support or votes, and we go have lunch, and the first thing he tells me, he says, Mayor, I've heard so much good things about you. It's been impressive what you accomplished in Somerset, but I want you to know up front that I'm supporting one of your opponents. Oh, man, that's cute. We've ended up becoming dear friends. In fact, still to this day, texts me every morning telling me he's praying for my mom. But part of our tour was allowing me to visit employers in Glasgow and Barron County. But he was so proud of their Boys and Girls Club. And he said, you got to come see what we're doing. And so I did. And I left those doors emotional and said, regardless of how this race goes, Somerset and Pulaski County are going to have a Boys and Girls Club. And this fall, we're going to have exactly that. A place for our children in the city school system to start. Hopefully someday we'll expand that. To go after school. We hear it all the time. Our kids don't have anything to do or anywhere to go. Learn life skills, leadership skills, invest in friendships, have mentors, in a sense, in a place of belonging. If you're interested in learning more about the Boys and Girls Club, I'd love for you all to reach out to Kathy Townsend, our Healthy Somerset Director. Kathy can get you plugged in and get you connected. Another experience that I had on the trail that is now going to be brought home to Somerset is a project in a place called the Life Learning Center. I can't tell you how I felt when I was in Covington and I had opportunity to meet with Alicia Edgington. I was going through the Life Learning Center, a place where they have a 12-week recovery program where you can get everything from tattoos removed off your hands and your faces, where you can go and shop for clothes, dress to success clothes to look for future employment. And one in particular, a store where you got to spend your dignity dollars. Not tangible cash, not real money, but money you earned. Money you earned because you were going to take a chance, you're going to believe in yourself again. This store was full of things that all of us in this room take for granted, but when you're looking for a second chance, when you've been in the lowest of the lows, you don't take any of that for granted. And when I thought about the Life Learning Center, I just said, my goodness, this has to be in Somerset. This has to be in Pulaski County. So what do you do when you want to get something done? You call Chris. And I said, man, you got to go see this place. And so what does Chris do? And you really want to get something done, you call Brenda Russell and you say, hey, we need to go together. And now I'm really proud. I'm really excited to tell you all and to share that through the efforts of SPEDA and the Oak Point Center, Brenda Russell, that Oak Point Center will be the first pilot program for Life Learning Center outside of Covington. And what I call the greatest success story, the greatest model for recovery to redemption is going to be right here. And folks that are struggling with chronic homelessness, drug or substance abuse are going to get a second chance. They're going to go back to work. They're going to have that dignity, and they're going to be a success. And then the employers in this room and across our county are going to have folks who are going to fill those jobs because they have over 270 workforce partners, and I'd love for Pulaski County to try to match that. Thank you. I just looked down. Bobby's got me on timer. I better hurry up. You know, I campaigned when I was running for re-election about sports tourism. And I hope that you'll know or see from me that I don't talk about things unless I truly believe they're going to happen or that they will happen. And sports tourism is on its way, but it's twofold. We're going to increase the amenities for our local kids first. If we're going to talk about making Somerset and Pulaski County a world-class place to raise a family and to live, then it needs to be about our kids first. But we also want to invest in a way that will allow for other folks to come into this community. So thanks to Rick Girdler and the state legislature, we have $1 million of seed money. The design and the plan is almost complete for renovation of Summersport Park. Soccer, football, and likely baseball fields will go there, but we're also going to keep dreaming big. I'm going to be asking the council, I hope, for some funds to do an indoor facility, maybe even two, one for tennis and pickleball and another for basketball, volleyball, and archery, making sure that you don't get left behind regardless of what you want to pursue in this community, from Boys and Girls Club to sports tourism. I think we can get it all done. You know, tourism brings a lot of revenue to this community. Leslie, Michelle, Allison, the work that's done by our tourism professionals is incredible. But we need to find a way to have new levers. You know, communities in Kentucky don't really control their own destiny because we don't have new revenue sources. The tax code in this state, we talked a lot about that during the campaign as well, is incredibly antiquated, most of it from the 1800s. And it's not allowed communities like us to make decisions that will better our own future. And so Somerset intends to lead the way in some of that new revenue discussion. I applaud SPEDA for signing on. There's a group called You Decide Kentucky, and they're going to be traveling the state asking folks for communities to be able to make decisions on what's best for them. I want to continue to support the elimination of the income tax, but focus on ideas that will allow us in the tourism community and the consumption economy to thrive and generate new revenue. Almost done, folks. Somerset continues to take the lead in investing in new technology and infrastructure. Now, I'm committed. I have been committed. We've put more money than any administration in the past into investing into that infrastructure and preventative maintenance, but also looking to the future in our water and wastewater systems. And just today, my team, I would love to have been there, but I'd rather be here with you. My team is in Memphis at the Kentucky-Tennessee Water Professionals Conference, and they were awarded the #1 in all of Kentucky or Tennessee water plant and water distribution system of the year. I'm going to say that again. Somerset, Kentucky. Yeah, thank you. Kentucky-Tennessee Water Professionals Conference, mid-sized plant and distribution system of the year in the entire states. You know, much has been made over the last several months about our water and wastewater. Well, let me just tell you, most of it's garbage. Most of it's innuendo. Most of it is rumor. Here are the facts. Out of 2 states, our system won Treatment Plant and Distribution System of the Year. I'm really proud of that. Our team will continue to stand behind. Thank you. We're going to stand tall. We're going to ensure that not only your water is safe, but your waterways are safe. I want to close with this. I got to travel the state talking about the Kentucky that I see. Man, a state that I love, a commonwealth that is so special that I think has unmatched and unlimited potential. But I stand before you all today so proud to talk about the Somerset that I see. A Somerset and a Pulaski County that just had a lake that was voted the best lake in the nation, that just had a downtown that was voted one of the most endearing or charming in the entire country. A city that just broke a record at MMF for the best festival that they ever had. We've had multiple festivals downtown that have broken records. The sky is the limit. The Somerset that I see is so special. And it's also a community that I think needs to come together and keep kicking butt. Because I promise you, if the folks in this room and the connective tissue of all of us will band together, will dream big, Somerset, Kentucky will take a back seat to no small city in America. Thank you all. Bobby just Heisman'd me. Did y'all see that?
We are most appreciative of our speakers today, and I would like to present our judge executive with a friend of the chamber. We're very proud of you, Judge Todd, and we deem you a friend of the chamber. Mayor Keck, we're also appreciative of you, and of course, we deemed you a friend of the chamber a couple years ago. So today we've got a bottle of Horse Soldier Bourbon for you. It is the Business in a Bottle series, and we're very appreciative of you today as well. Let's get one more picture.
I don't know what it says about me, but
all right. We are tight on time, but we will take a question from the floor. We have microphones set up in the back. If you have a question that you feel is important for us to hear about, we'd certainly take a question or maybe two, depending on how complex the first one is. John Blake's back there at the microphone. No questions? Okay, the last thing I'd like to do is certainly apologize to a couple elected officials. When I started recognizing elected officials at the beginning of the meeting, I absolutely knew we were going to miss one every now and then, and with 250 people here and not everybody hitting the sign-in, I certainly missed a couple, and of course Jerry Wilden, David Burdine, Patrick Hundley, all City of Somerset commissioners. Thank you guys for being here. And then Donna McClure from Senator McConnell's office, thank you for being here as well. All right. Next, we have some giveaways. First, we have 20% off M&W Printing, and that would be ticket number 955-1915. 1915. Back here to the far back left. Thank you, Tiffany. That was donated by M&W Printing, by the way. Next, we have $20 RB Dry Cleaner gift card donated by RB Dry Cleaners. That'd be ticket 749-355. 355. Right here in the center, towards the back. Next, we have Buffalo Wings and Rings gift card, $25 gift card donated by Buffalo Wings and Rings, 749-460. Mr. Haney back here. Next, we have 2 tickets to the Eric Bollard with Hunter Flynn at the Virginia concert Tix on Bolander. Eric Bolander. I've got to get stronger glasses. On August the 17th, 2 Tix, 749-426. 426. Seven 426. We'll draw again. 749-071. 071. Here we go. And the suit shop has a necktie. We're drawing for a necktie. 749-086. 086. Yeah. 086. 086. 0. 086. All right, I'll draw again. 749-403. 403. There we go. We have Hardee's South, Hardee's gift card, $20 Hardee's gift card. Ticket number 955-1965. 1965. There we go. All right, next we have Harvestland, a farm-to-table celebration ticket donated by the Somerset Junior Women's Club. 749-359. 359. All right. We are most appreciative of everybody attending today, and I want to remind everybody that next month on September the 5th, we'll have our next luncheon. United States Congressman Harold Hal Rogers will be with us in September, so I'm looking forward to that, and make sure you get that on your calendar. And last but not least, Matt Ford, if you will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Past Chamber President Matt Ford.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.